Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
People living nearby the lights in West Fargo say the noise coming from concerts and other events is unbearable and something has to change.
The lights is the newest spot for such activities in the area. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly has our story.
Designed to entertain, from new bars to live music, the lights has become a headache for nearby neighbors.
It's very loud when you got to work in the morning and have to listen to that till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's hard to get up.
Johnston says the noise is too much. It's more than an inconvenience, it's forcing her out of her home.
I'm moving because of it. Like I said, just getting up early kind of puts it, it's hard to do when you're listening to that all night.
She says the concerts should end earlier, especially during the week, wondering about the city's noise ordinance. According to City Ordinance 15-14, it's against the law for any person to make loud, unnecessary, or unusual noise, or any noise which either annoys, disturbs, injures, or endangers the comfort, repose, health, peace, or safety of others within the limits of the city of West Fargo. And the trouble goes beyond the noise.
The traffic, people walking through your yard, everything that goes along with the concerts, it gets to be an awful lot.
Another neighbor who did not want to go on camera tells us Johnston is not alone. It's keeping her kids up at night, so she will be moving from the neighborhood as well. The city of West Fargo has received multiple formal complaints about the noise coming from the lights. They are working on compiling those documents for Valley News Live. In West Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
Meanwhile, West Fargo city leaders say that they are working with Epic Events and West Fargo Events to address the issue.
A bystander rescued a family pet from the backyard of a home in Grand Forks after the nearby house went up in flames this afternoon. The fire started at 1697 South 38th Street shortly after 4 p.m. Flames caused extensive damage to the home. The people who lived there were not home at the time. Fire investigators have not identified a cause or come up with a damage estimate at this time.
Local colleges say although every precaution will be taken to keep students safe and healthy this year, they also know it's inevitable that some will still contract or be exposed to the virus. If those students live on campus, NDSU has an entire building dedicated to isolation, while MSUM says that they have 2 designated floors.
If after 10 days of having a positive test and you've had 24 hours without a fever, then you're considered non-contagious, and then they would go back to their existing room.
NDSU says the isolation hall has a stove, oven, microwave, as well as a fridge and freezer where students are able to make their own meals. They say dining services will replenish the pantry daily. MSUM says isolated students will be able to choose from the dining services website what they would like to eat that day.
When it comes to personal protective equipment, we found out that schools and colleges in the metro are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on PPE. MSUM and West Fargo Public Schools say it's going to be a hefty bill, but it has to be done in order to get back to learning.
We do have a lot of stations for hand sanitizers in kind of heavily trafficked areas.
We're purchasing everything from disposable masks to cloth masks. We've purchased plexiglass.
Fargo and Morehead Public Schools will be giving all students and staff 1 cloth face mask at the start of the school year. To find more information on how schools are prepared, you can download our VNL News app.
As Morehead school leaders work on a plan for the upcoming school year, they're asking parents to watch a 90-minute session that provides details on the Return to Learn plan. A link is on the district's website. Another link provides a 30-minute presentation for parents who want their children to attend the SPUD Academy, which is full-time distance learning. The district would like to see all students register online by this Friday, and the district will release its model determination for school by August 24th, with school starting Tuesday, September 8th.
Joe Biden raised $26 million for his presidential campaign in the 24 hours that followed his announcement that California Senator Kamala Harris would be his running mate. The two delivered an aggressive 1-2 attack on the character and performance of President Donald Trump today. Biden pitched his former primary rival as a smart, tenacious figure who will help him defeat Trump in November. Harris is making history as the first black woman on a national major party ticket.
We have new numbers. Minnesota reporting another 470 confirmed cases, along with 12 new deaths linked to the illness. All total, 1,678 deaths have been attributed to the disease. Over 55,000 people are listed as recovered. In North Dakota, there are 87 cases, 2 more deaths reported today. The death toll now sits at 120, while the active case count is up to 1,099.
North Dakota's health department is contact tracing about 5,000 people right now. But as coronavirus testing increases, so does the demand for contact tracers. The state's director of disease control says they need more staff to help make the phone calls to people who were in close contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19. As more and more people return to work, the reliance on contact tracing is increasing.
There's a high likelihood that they're working in some critical infrastructure. And so they're going back to work as contacts. Now, our guidance for them is that they're still under quarantine. They can go to work and then they have to go home, and they shouldn't be doing anything outside of those two activities.
The state has already hired college students, and it's looking to add more in the coming weeks.
More kids are being equipped with supplies to go back to school thanks to the Churches United Adopt a Kiddo event. This program is meant for elementary kids to teenage kids. Churches United started this event last year because they saw that many kids were missing essential items for school. Sponsors provide the kids not only with school supplies, but new clothes as well.
It was a huge reaction. It was kind of like a giant birthday party or Christmas in August. One sponsor ended up taking care of backpack and supply needs, while the other sponsor took care of the clothing. And that way the kids were fully geared up for a successful year at school.
Churches United is currently serving 60 kids.
All I know is there's 2 more Harley loving angels in heaven right now.
A heartbreaking situation tonight for family and friends remembering the lives of loved ones. A Perham, Minnesota couple died yesterday afternoon doing what they loved most, riding at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in South Dakota. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie has our story.
There wasn't much Jim Nines loved more than riding his motorcycle. He never missed a trip to South Dakota for the 10-day Sturgis Rally. This year, taking the woman he loved most, Mary Aitken.
Jim lived and died by his motorcycle. The world is a little bit of a not good place today because he's not here.
Jim and Mary were together for nearly 2 decades. The couple died Tuesday when they took a sharp turn and their motorcycle overturned. They were on their way back to Sturgis from Montana.
People say that when somebody dies, but honestly, he was one of a kind. There's nobody else like him. He had a solid heart of gold. He really did.
Nicole Hall has known Jim for 20 years. She says he had a personality bigger than Broadway and hugs bigger than a bear, adding he and Mary fit together like a hand in glove.
2 wonderful people that have the biggest, beautiful hearts. I never, ever saw anything bad about them.
Annie Squires has been riding with Jim for the last 3 years. She's still in Sturgis saying, it won't ever be the same without Jim and Mary.
His motto was, you work hard, you play hard. And he loved being on his motorcycle. And I think if he had a wish of the way that for him to go, it would have been the way he went.
The only ending he might change is that Mary wasn't with him, but in a way, I think that's why it happened. They were meant to be together forever.
In the Valley, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Family and friends say they're working on starting an annual motorcycle rally in Jim and Mary's honor.